In this video, we're going to be talking about the top 5 most brutal units in the brand new Space Marine Codex Warhammer 40,000. We're going to talk about the individual data sheets themselves, all of the support you can give them via character buffs, detachment benefits, or even stratagems. And we're going to go through in depth from every single one of them because there is some really spicy combos here. I'm Jake, this is Michael, how you doing?
Good, thank you. Excited to delve into some incredibly brutal units and combos.
Yes, there's 5 to be exact, and they're all very brutal. So let's start out with probably the more simple one, being the Whirlwind.
Whirlwind, yeah. So the Whirlwind is it has indirect fire, so it can shoot you even if it can't see you. That's already pretty brutal.
Yes.
How are we going to make that more brutal, Jake?
Well, Michael, I'm thinking maybe put them in everyone's favourite storm, the Iron Storm.
The Iron Storm, right? Okay.
So this allows you to reroll a hit, a wound, or a damage for every unit in your army.
Yeah, okay.
But there's a main thing we like this for is the character support it can provide us.
Right.
So if we take a Tech Marine, the Tech Marine can pick a unit in the command phase and give it +1 to hit and hit on some wounds.
Okay, so if we've got indirect fire, now actually we're going to ignore the -1 to hit, essentially, because we've got a Tech Marine.
Yes. The other thing we get from having a Tech Marine is the ability to give it an enhancement that gives you an aura of lethal hits.
Okay.
Okay, so now every hit you're sort of doing of a 6 is now also an automatic wound, comboing this with the Oath of the Moment. So you can reroll all your hits.
Very nice.
And then if we want to bump that up even more,
yes,
we could use the Mercy's Weakness stratagem, which means that we pick one of our units that's targeted an enemy unit that's below starting strength.
Yes.
And we get sustained hits.
Okay.
And if that unit is a vehicle, then you get critical hits of 5s.
Right.
So now we've shooting a unit. We're re-rolling hits and wounds. It's hitting on 3s because of -1/+1 with our Tech Marine.
Yes.
Every 6 to hit is an automatic wound, or every 5 and 6 is an automatic wound and an extra hit.
Right.
And then we're actually rolling our wounds.
Okay.
So it's very good.
Yes, that's very strong. Yeah. That's very, very strong. You could take it one step further and spend a command point on Unbowed Conviction, where you ignore modifiers too.
Yes.
So that you're hitting on 2s with it, reroll everything, your 5s and 6s are all lethal and sustained. Right.
I think it's fair to say as well, just as a quick one, the other way you can make this combo even stronger is by taking actually a second Whirlwind.
Yeah, the second Whirlwind can trigger the below starting strength.
So you shoot one at something that then allows you to pop all of these abilities. You then shoot the other one at it where you can use the stratagems and stuff. So yeah, I think that's good.
On top of that, we've got, so what is it, damage 2, AP 2.
Yes.
And inflicts battle shock too.
Yeah, so it'll be AP1 most of the time because of the cover. Yeah. But still, like with the amount of shots this thing's pumping out as well, it's going to be pretty good.
Yeah.
So I love that Whirlwind. Next, let's talk about let's keep on the Iron Storm theme.
Okay.
And let's talk about our friend the Redemptor Dreadnought.
Yes.
So again, Redemptor's a fantastic chassis.
We could do a twist.
Okay.
We could actually talk about the Redemptor in an Anvil detachment.
Okay. Well, why don't I'll speak about it from the Iron Storm.
Okay.
You speak about it from the Anvil.
Okay.
I didn't. He's ad-libbing now.
I'm ad-libbing.
So I'll speak about it from the Iron Storm.
Okay.
So for the reasons we said before, you can reroll a hit, a wound, or a damage.
Yes.
You're not really going to be rerolling damage, but more just having that wound on its very good plasma cannon, or even a Gatling cannon, something like that. On top of that, it has more character support because not only is it, could you take the lethal hits aura, there's another aura as well that allows vehicles within 6 to advance and still shoot, or fall back and still shoot.
Yes, very nice.
Which just makes it a very mobile sort of threat. You can make it blanker damage if you need to, make it even more durable.
Yeah.
You've got a shoot back stratagem with it.
You do, yeah. If you get dropped below half strength.
Yeah, you could make it +1 toughness, +1 save, +1 lots of stats as well, because it is a walker.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
And then on top of obviously the Mercy's Weakness, it's -1 damage, 2 up saves. Just very brutal, and we are seeing these units in a lot of detachments.
Yes.
Mainly the Iron Storm, but give me the Anvil. What does it do? What's the Anvil giving us?
The Anvil, and there's a pairing here that's in both detachments. We're getting to get that Mercy's Weakness if we're Iron Storm for criticals on 5s and sustained. We can do exactly the same thing with the Anvil, provided the vehicle remains stationary.
Yeah.
So if we stay still with the Redemptor, we can get hitting on 2s, reroll our hits against a Oath target, and we can fish for 5s and 6s to get sustained hits. There's no lethal in the Anvil detachment, so what you probably want to do is take 2 Gatling guns.
Okay, nice.
Because they get devastating wounds.
Yes,
and you can pop 2 command points on reroll wounds against a monster or vehicle.
Yes.
And now you get sustained 5s, hitting on 2s. That's an enormous amount of shots you're going to get.
Yeah, because you'd think you'd pick them all up and re-roll them, right?
Exactly. And then now all of your 6s re-rolling wounds, going to be devastating wounds. And of course, you know, if you shoot an infantry or anything, you're going to do a lot of damage too.
Yeah. Really like that. That's really good. Never thought about it from that angle. Thank you, Michael.
Yes.
So that is the second unit for that. Now let's go away from the Ironstorm. Let's go away from that. Let's talk about one people more are probably already aware of because it's been around since the Index times, and that is our favourite Boggless and our favourite aggressors.
Biologists.
It's a Boggless. So this is in the Gladius task force, but can also be used in the Anvil. So again, if I cover the Gladius, you want to cover the Anvil?
That's all right. Let's just do the Gladius.
Okay, let's just do the Gladius. We've already spoken about the Anvil. The Anvil's had enough time now. Let's take that off the table. Pretty simply, you can give the Boggless or the Biologus, as you prefer, the Bolter Discipline enhancement.
Yes.
And what this
Fire
does,
discipline now.
Fire discipline, sorry.
Yes.
So what this does is it gives him sustained.
That's right.
And then if you are in the Devastator Doctrine, you get critical hits of 5.
Yes, and this is all for their ranged weapons, which they have a lot of.
So he himself gives the unit lethal hits. So now we've got lethal and sustained on 5s, which is fantastic. Oath of Moment allowing us to reroll all our hits. Comboed on this unit of aggressors, so their unit rule is if they're shooting against the closest unit, they get +1 AP.
Nice.
A part of one of the stratagems, I believe it is, for the
Storm of Fire.
Storm of Fire, so ignores cover and an extra AP if you're in Devastator. So again, once you combo this, you've got a load of shots that are all AP2, getting crit 5s to hit will give you an extra hit and a wound. And
ignores cover.
Ignores cover. And on top of all of this, they have twin linked bolters anyway. So even if you don't get a lot good luck on the hits, you've got a lot of your shots that are going to be rerolling wounds.
Yeah.
But they also have blast on their weapons as well. Yes. This was a combo that was seen, probably fair to say, in most Gladius Task Force Space Marine lists, if not all of them.
Yep.
So it's still strong, guys. It's still brutal.
Still very good. And aggressors hit on 3+s, whereas before the Codex they didn't.
Yeah.
So actually in combat, they're much better now too.
Yeah. So I think this is a fantastic unit, a staple of the Marine Army, especially if you're getting Gladius. I think you take at least one of these.
Super strong. Super strong.
Nice one. So that ends the Gladius one. Let's now talk about the Inceptors.
Yes.
So this is in the Vanguard attachment we've gone for.
That's right.
And talk me through it, Michael.
Okay, so what we're going to use here is in the Vanguard detachment, we get cover and -1 to be hit over 12 inches.
Okay.
And we're actually going to set these guys up when we deep strike them. They can go within 3 or just out of 3. We want to set them up 12.1 inches away from their target.
Yep.
And we're going to use a stratagem here with an infantry unit targeting an enemy unit over 12 inches away. We get +1 ballistic skill, so a ballistic skill 2+, and we get an extra AP on all of our shots.
Nice.
This is incredibly potent with either variant of the Inceptor's weapons.
Yeah.
Very strong with the bolters, because we get sustained hits too.
Yes.
So now we're hitting on 2s, and if we have Oath the target, we're hitting on 2s, reroll everything, and our 6s are 2 additional hits.
Yeah.
Which is worth fishing for. When we say fishing, we mean rerolling the successfuls just to try and get a critical hit. Then it's AP2 at strength 5, and it's 2 damage each.
It's very good, isn't it?
It's very good. If you can set these up on a building that's more than 6 inches high, then you're also going to get plunging fast. You could be AP3, 2 damage each. They can also go off the board and come back on from deep strike 3 inches away and do it again a turn after.
Yeah. No, I like that. That was the other thing
strong.
I was going to note with the Inceptors is their ability to turn up within 3. It's fantastic if you're playing against low nops and there's one at the back of the board. You really have to then make your opponent think about that. Ability to take them off the table and do that. It's very good. So yeah. So that is number 4.
Yes.
And we're going to end it on one that maybe hasn't been spoken about a lot. And that is 10 Infernus Marines.
Yes.
And the captain, but mainly 10 Infernus Marines.
Mainly Infernus Marines and Vulcan.
And Vulcan.
Vulcan
Right,
helps a lot.
we'll put Vulcan in there as well. Sadly, we do not have your lovely Primartican edition.
Thank you.
He's getting ready for an event coming up.
Yes.
So talk us through the Infernus. So a bit of a hint there with Vulcan. We're playing this as Salamanders.
Yeah, so we're looking at the Firestorm attachment.
Yeah.
And what we get with the Firestorm attachment is we can advance and shoot. Perfect for Infernus.
Yes.
And we get +1 strength within 12 inches, which is the
fantastic.
range of an Infernus.
Yeah.
So this means we're strength 6 with these flamers, and they ignore cover. So the amount of wounds you can get through on toughness 3 targets is immense, and the amount of wounds you can get through on anything else is immense as well.
Yeah. No, I think that it's very, very strong. So again, fantastic with that Firestorm bonus. What is then other ways we can help? So stratagem-wise?
Stratagem-wise, there's 2 you can do here.
Okay.
So the first one is about tactics. We could do it for free, but normally 2 command points gives us devastating wounds on our torrent weapons. So that's 10d6 shots with devastating wounds. Obviously, Vulcan gives you reroll wounds against a specific target, which makes that much better.
Yeah.
Still works without it because you're really fishing for those 6s.
No, of course.
The other stratagem you can use is +1 to wound against a closest target within 6 inches.
Ooh.
So strength 6 with +1 to wound on these guys.
Yeah.
You're cooking anything that doesn't have a 2-up save.
Yeah, exactly. Because on average, you're winning something on 4s with that.
Yes.
Yeah, and then Vulcan's obviously giving you that sort of like old style oath that allow you reroll wounds. Very thematic as well that it is obviously salamanders in its flamers.
Yeah.
And if it does survive, got to take a battle shock check, I guess.
Yes, if
is
it does
great.
survive, if it's infantry, then they've got to do a battle shock test. And then in your opponent's turn, they're going to have to worry about the Overwatch.
Yeah, because it's a lot of Overwatch.
A lot of Overwatch.
It won't have the same stratagem support, but still anything that's left is definitely going to get hit.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I love it. So that is the top 5 most brutal units in our opinion. So again, just to reiterate, Whirlwind in the Ironstorm,
Yes.
Redemptor in the Ironstorm or the Anvil,
Yeah.
you can pick. Aggressors with the Boggless in the Gladius task force.
Yes, that's right, yeah.
Inceptors in the Vanguard detachment. And then finally, rounding it off, Infernus Marines in the Firestorm detachment.
Yes.
Wow. Right, Michael, thank you for showing me all these units. I've learned some things I didn't know about.
Well, thank you. Thank you for co-hosting. And if you are interested in some more tips about Space Marines, or perhaps you want some help writing your own list to counter or play with some of these combos, then check out the links below. The Masterclass of Space Marines is out at the moment. We've had fantastic feedback and it is a hell of a bargain. You get to see all of the detachments in action and on the table, and you get to see all of the different chapters discussed as well at length with competitive lists and so on. Or you can book in for that one-to-one call where we get you to be using your army as best you can with any units that you specifically want to include. So yeah, check those options out. But yeah, thank you, Jake.
Thank you, Michael.
I look forward to seeing some of this in action.
I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of this in action, mainly this unit here. And guys, if you did enjoy this, make sure you like and comment. Tell us what you think some of your favourite brutal units are, if you agree with our picks, or maybe we taught you something you didn't know, and we'll see you in another video very soon.